Well, it just wouldn't be a Digging Z71 video if it wasn't pouring down rain while we're trying to get stuff done on the old race week rocket right here. So if you guys are new here, I'm Digging Z71. My name is Dylan. This is Clifford, my Turbo LS 4-wheel drive street truck that gets raced sometimes when it's not broken and I'm not having problems and everything's going right and I'm lucky and I hold my mouth just right. That's who I am. That's what we do here. And I get rained on a lot. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do the whole thing. Help us on the algorithm. If you've been here for a long time, keep doing those things. They help. We're growing. We're getting better every day. There's a lot of stuff that I do on this channel that people need to see, and it takes you to get that done. All you OGs who are here now, I've said this before, but you are on the ground floor of this channel. You are on the ground floor of the program. We've got a lot more to do, and I hope that the next piece of this puzzle right here behind me is going to help us get there. So if you saw in the last video, you would have seen Clifford that we got the trans put back in with the correct pump and yada yada yada. We did some work on it, only for fluid to just be pumping straight out of the vent. I tinkered with it a couple more hours after I turned the camera off. I did some reading and researching last night, and well, it ain't looking good, guys. I think that the trans is going to have to come back out. So basically, for fluid to come out of the vent, there's one of three possibilities. It can either be A, overfilled. And well, I've done this a time or 10, so I know I didn't overfill it initially. Second way is that there's something wrong internally with the pump. Now, the pump that I put in was new. It looked great. It looked fine. It looked perfect. There's a chance that I put something mismatched backwards, upside down in the pump, but I really don't think so. I'm a pretty smart guy, self-proclaimed, but I'm a pretty smart guy and I'm pretty good at reading instructions, and I think I put everything back in there. And then the third way is that the pump gasket, the pump where it seals to the case, that gasket could be misaligned, installed incorrectly, torn, or just not getting a good seal. And any of those three things would cause the fluid to come out of the vent. And well, basically two of those things require me pulling the trans back out to double check that I either A, assembled the pump correctly, and then B, that I have the pump gasket installed there correctly without any damage to it. And since I felt like I did a pretty good job of those two things, I feel pretty good about it, I am leaning more towards that there just might be something wrong with this trans. Something in the case is wrong, something is misaligned, something is stripped out. I really don't know enough about it. And so I have done myself a little bit of a favor, and I went and picked up the next victim. So I got on Marketplace. You can find anything on Facebook Marketplace. Got on there and I found another suitable candidate. This is actually a late model 4L80. It's not the early style like we have, so I'm gonna have to move the trans cooler lines. But pretty much they're just about the same, you know, more or less. After I'm done with it, it'll be about the same anyway. I picked this up in hopes that if I pull this trans out and I see something like a gasket's torn or I see something wrong in the pump, no big deal, I'll correct it and put it right back in. But if everything comes out looking good, then it's safe to assume that there's something wrong with the case, and I wanted to have a backup right here, right now, available to just transfer everything that's known good in the one trans over into this new one. But hang with me, enough talking, it is what it is. Let's get to work. Oh, here we go. Didn't even tear my shorts. That's a win. Oh yeah. This is how all the best racing transmissions start out. And you guys might think I'm kidding, but I'm really not. This is just how the best stuff comes out here. All caked up in mud, on fire, rolled over, flipped upside down, rolled off a cliff. Guaranteed to run for 300,000 miles of abuse. Well, so much for not getting my shorts dirty. Ugh. Look at there, look at there. Y'all check this out. Transmission build post, if I have ever seen one. Now, hopefully I don't actually have to use this. Hopefully, like I said, we could just take the other trans out of the truck, find something simple wrong with it, fix that one, and just put it right back in and be good to go, and crisis averted. But worst case, we don't see anything wrong with that trans, and we just kind of can chalk it up as a loss that there's something wrong with the case. And then instead we can put everything new in this one. Instead of being insane trying the same thing over and over again expecting a different result, we try something different. Well, after spending basically all day learning far more about 4L80s than I ever intended to in my entire life, than I ever really wanted to in my entire life, I can confidently say that we are now going to try something different. So it took not one transmission, not two transmissions, but 3 transmissions to get something that we feel like is going to be the one. This one right here, that's the unit. You think it's the unit, Austin? That's the unit. That's the one. This is the one. All right. So here's what we did. Basically, I took my trans out and I started to take a look at the pump because I knew the trans wasn't over full. I knew that it wasn't coming out of the vent because I knew I didn't have too much fluid in it. That was just no way possible. I've done that a time or 10. I kind of know how much fluid to start with. And so it basically reduced us to having something wrong in the pump. So either I installed something wrong, something was never going to be right, you name it, we didn't know. But long story short, Suncoast and those guys agree with me that the case that I had been using was not worth reusing. We weren't going to keep beating our heads off the wall, trying something that just, no matter what we had tried before, really showed no improvement. So I had brought them the other case that I, purchased that you guys see me wash, and well, we just talking about it a little other, we came up with a third one, and that's the one that we ultimately ended up using. So in about the next 10 seconds for you guys on the video, it's going to take me and Austin a little bit longer, but about the next 10 seconds or so, you guys are going to see us take this transmission right here, we're going to put it in Clifford, and we're going to find out at the snap of the fingers whether it's the right combination of stuff or whether we got to make this video all over again. Let's go. All right, guys, so there it is. It is running. This is the first fire up. I have done nothing but just kind of cycle through the gears, get the fluid topped off to the correct level. Everything seems good. So excuse the mess. Austin and I worked until about 2 a.m. But here's the test. Let's see how it behaves on the trans brake. This is going to give us our first indication of whether we put this thing back together more correctly. It has been idling now for about 3 minutes or so. And look, no fluid out of the vent. Everything is good. So let's put this thing on the brake and see what it does. All right, let us see what we can do here. So got her in drive. Kind of sketchy doing this on the jack stands, to be honest, but all right, trans brake is on. Let's see what she does here. Shoo! She comes on up. That's what we wanted. So, sorry, my hair is a mess. Anyway, but as you guys can tell, that is much, much better than it was before. I think that the problem where I had the fluid coming out of the vent was also causing the converter to try to do weird things again because fluid just wasn't going to the correct places. But as you can tell, that came up to our 2-step way faster. And it's like I said in the last video, I don't have any of our tuning tricks turned on that help us make the boost. This converter is supposed to be tighter than the converter we had before, so it's going to be just naturally slower. But holy cow, at this point in time, what a relief, because this has been a crazy week of things going on, carrying transmissions, building transmissions, inspecting transmissions. But today, hopefully we get to race the transmission. I'm going to cut this video off pretty short, and the next one you're going to see is me at Mobile Dragway or at US 90 Dragway in Mobile. We're going to do another foot brake race. basically a down track test and tune for us. We're not competitive on the foot brake, but hey, we get to go racing. The clocks are turned on, the scoreboards are on, the fans love it. Everybody has a good time. I'm Dickinsy71. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do the things. Get on there and buy a t-shirt. It helps us go race. Race week is coming. This Races Cup this weekend is going to be a big step for that. The transmission, supposedly working right now, is a big step for that. So as always, keep digging. We'll see you next time.